When one contemplates the most legendary scientists of the past century, names such as Albert Einstein, Marie Curie, and Sigmund Freud will surely come to mind. Yet there is one man who cannot cease to be mentioned. One man exhibited leadership with dedicated observations, analytical thought, and application of his findings. He revolutionized man's view of the universe and opened the door to new theories and discoveries, leaving behind an unforgettable legacy in the fields of astronomy and physics. His name is Edwin Hubble. Since the beginning of time, mankind has always looked to the skies in wonder and awe. However, it was not until the late 15th century that any sort of interest in taking leaps forward in astronomical advancement became present. Even so, Giordano Bruno was sentenced to death at the end of the 16th century by the Holy Inquisition for suggesting that the universe was infinite and expanding. Decades later, during a scientific revolution, Isaac Newton published the 3 laws of motion, in which he stated how objects in motion stay in motion because of inertia and gravity. This raised many questions about the universe because his laws of motion suggested that all matter was constantly moving. However, the theory that the universe was expanding was pushed to the side because astronomers started to focus on the Milky Way galaxy and the immediate world that affected humankind. During the 1920s, Edwin Hubble brought back the seemingly far-reaching theory about galaxies beyond the mere realms of mankind. Hubble led a revolutionary movement in humanity's knowledge of the universe. His discoveries and evidence for the expanding universe theory have continued to inspire new inventions and theories today.
Even thought like comets were part of the local atmosphere, and stars never grow old. They're always the way they've always been. And here was a revolutionary idea that the universe is not static, that it's actually growing bigger.
Edwin Powell Hubble was born in Marshfield, Missouri on November 20th, 1889. He attended the University of Chicago and served in World War I before finally settling down at the Mount Wilson Observatory. There, Hubble worked with the 100-inch Hooker telescope and spent many cold nights trying to feed his curiosity of the universe and come to conclusions about unanswered questions. Hubble took several pictures of spiral nebulae, a type of galaxy consisting of a flat, rotating disk of stars, gas, and dust, and a central concentration of stars known as a bulge. This was quite intelligent, as those images revealed changes over time. He observed instances in which a dim star became brighter as it attracted material from a nearby companion star. On October 4th, 1923, he compared the pictures he had taken of the Andromeda Nebula with photos he had taken on previous nights. In doing so, he identified a Cepheid variable star, which is a kind of star that helps astronomers calculate distances within and beyond the Milky Way. Using the Cepheid, Hubble was able to determine that the Andromeda Nebula was 900,000 light-years away. According to Harlow Shapley, the size of the Milky Way galaxy was 100,000 light-years across, and it was the only galaxy that existed. Harlow, along with many other astronomers of the time, believed that all the stars and nebulae were contained within one galaxy, ours. Hubble's new findings proved Shapley wrong because they indicated that the Andromeda galaxy was far beyond the Milky Way. It therefore had to be an entirely different galaxy. This was a groundbreaking conviction, as it suggested that there could also be other galaxies outside the Milky Way. Yet this was neither Hubble's greatest discovery nor his biggest contribution. Hubble, working with his assistant Milton Humason, calculated the distance to as many galaxies as possible, and in 1929 he published a paper called A Relation Between Distance and Radial Velocity Among Extragalactic Nebulae, in which he concluded that the universe was expanding. This was such a great discovery that the renowned Albert Einstein personally congratulated and thanked Hubble, as Hubble had proven Einstein's static universe theory to be incorrect, instead showing that the universe indeed was expanding. Some years before, the idea of the Big Bang Theory was proposed by Georges Lemaitre. However, he did not have concrete evidence to prove the validity of his theory on how the world was created. Edwin Hubble was the first scientist to provide stronger evidence of what would become known as the Big Bang Theory. He was able to calculate that galaxies were moving away from us at thousands of miles per second, and that if light originating from a galaxy was more spread out, the galaxy was moving at a higher speed. Hubble's constant, the value representing this proportion, is the ratio of the velocity of the galaxy to its distance from Earth. Equally as important, the reciprocal of this constant gives the age of that particular object in space, thus giving scientists a tool in their assessments and observations of the universe surrounding them. By observing the Cepheid stars and using Hubble's equations on the universe's rate of expansion, current scientists have narrowed the age of the universe to between 13 and 14 billion years old. Because Edwin Hubble was able to prove the notion of the expanding universe, he consequently raised a major question. What is the fate of the universe? Three theories are proposed by astronomers today. 1. The universe, once it has stopped expanding, will collapse back onto itself. 2. The universe will keep infinitely expanding at a constant rate. 3. The universe will expand forever, but the rate of expansion would either continually slow or quicken as time approaches infinity. The quest to answer this question is ongoing in the world today, as it affects the very survival of mankind. At the same time, new technological advancements have also been made in honor of continuing the revolution in astronomy put forth by Hubble. One of the most important advancements has been the Hubble telescope. In 1969, NASA approved the Large Telescope project, and in 1975, along with the European Space Agency, began creating blueprints for what would become the Hubble telescope. This telescope was launched into orbit atop the space shuttle called the Discovery on April 24, 1990. The scope included the Wide Field Planetary Camera, the Goddard High Resolution Spectrograph, the Faint Object Camera, the Faint Object Spectrograph, and the High Speed Photometer. All of these special features have enabled the telescope to capture images of deep space, new planets, distant galaxies, faraway explosions, and countless other objects that once only existed within our imaginations. These images have pushed the field of astronomy forward, leading to new discoveries and theories. While it is important to note that Hubble himself did not influence the construction of the telescope directly, he did provide the inspiration to use such technology to explore the universe. Edwin Hubble was able to pave the way for new discoveries and today can still be accredited with many revolutions in scientific theory. He did something that no other scientist of the time did. Edwin Hubble was a leader who was not afraid to go against the orthodox beliefs of the contemporary astronomers who believed that the Milky Way was the only galaxy. And his discovery's long-lasting impact eventually led to the launching of the Hubble telescope in 1990. Since then, space images sent back to Earth in unprecedented detail have changed the way scientists look at the universe. Moreover, the cosmic inflation theory, a direct result of Hubble's discoveries, has recently been proposed. The cosmic inflation theory could revolutionize our views of the most basic aspects of physics as scientists transform modes of exploration of our galaxy and beyond. Better exploration yields a better chance of making extraterrestrial discoveries that will aid in the sustenance and improvement of human life. This ever-continuing astronomical fire that Hubble added so much fuel to less than a century ago is what continues to intrigue scientists today. Hubble's and his discoveries' monumental impacts on astronomy left an irrefutable legacy in the mind of every human who gazes into the sky and tries to figure out how what is out there can improve human life here on Earth. This is exactly what Hubble provided to all contemporary and future aspiring scientists. Not just complicated, inapplicable scientific discoveries, but deeper understanding, potential for lives to be altered, and wondrous inspiration. Humans could live our entire lives plodding along one foot after another, our heads hung down and looking only as far forward as the next footstep. Space exploration lifts our heads up. It shows us the sky, the stars, the universe, an entire cosmos just begging us to learn more about it. Humans are capable of greater things. Every once in a while, we just need to look up and be reminded of that. Edwin Hubble reminded us of that.